Alright, we're doing a quick update. So still looks like I haven't moved anything, but I definitely have. Still got my cell section. I've sold a few, still heaps to go. And in the end, I just have to throw out what's not good. And so I've gone through most of this, and they're all still pretty decent. And yeah, trying to sell those. And then got majority of this is keep. I'm definitely selling still some of them, but majority of them are keeping until I see something that I like. So like this one looks quite nice. So I'm just waiting to see if it looks any better. And if it turns out to be, pretty nice, I'll keep it and use it to breed. Which so far I would probably keep that for flowering. Been moving some stuff out. Moving some stuff out of here as well. And so now we're going into winter. Everything's slowing down. I've continued to fertilize, giving them a synthetic fertilizer. And they seem to be still growing. So just a lot slower. So it's still pretty cool. This graft here was an experiment to see if it would continue the middle rib. If you have seen the photo, there's a plant that looks similar to this, well, exactly like this, except there's a middle rib constantly on every single in between every single rib, like this. It's like that, but all the way down on every single side. But yeah, so far it has not done it. Also, this was a graft from a different pup that wasn't doing the middle rib, but I was just trying to see if in the later life, when it's mature, it'll start doing it. But so far nothing. I'll leave it one more season, or maybe halfway through the season, before I chuck it or sell it, whatever. Sorry if I don't give you the names for everything. There's so many things going on, so if there's anything you like specifically and you want to know the name, just put in the time frame of where it was in the video, and I'll try and tell you if you ask me in the comments. And this crest just keeps on pumping. I just cannot believe how fast that grew. That was grafted, I think, around the same time as these other guys, and just pumps it. These are our Peru. These came from Peru, seed growns, and then I grafted them up. They're all looking quite similar, so I'm thinking that they've come from the same parents or similar parents, because these are all from the same seed batch. That's not. Yeah, a few things come out there, and I've never been able to get a good shot of this, but this guy is beautiful. And then we got our Aina. Now, I named this Aina off of the guy that I got the seeds from. And so I'm not too sure if I'm going to keep the name, because when it first started growing, it really looked nice. And it does still look nice. But I'm just not sure if I want to give it a name. Unless there's a reason for it, because I've gotten those from him as well, so I'm sort of waiting to see if something's a bit nicer. I don't know, I might keep the name. I like it. These guys are getting big. Oh, camera keeps going blurry. Got our lumberjack cross sharks blue up there. Sorry, the light level is low. We are in the afternoon. And now, so I've been going through and I've been culling stuff that has too much fungal problems. Because in my mind, if it has fungal, it's just weak genetics or weak resilience. So, for example, this guy looks really, really nice. I love him. But he's got all of this. Like, it's, you know, it's not nothing. It's active. And it's progressing. And it's a very aggressive infection. It's not on anything next to it, so it's not necessarily spreading. Literally everything around it is fungal free. So my conclusion is that this cannot protect itself very well. Look, it's all up in their spot there. This side's not too bad, and this is where it gets its sun. So, you know, maybe it is mainly just humidity and shade that brings it on, because it's covered on the back there and covering in there where it doesn't get the sun. So usually I would get rid of it. I'm like, yep, toss it. But I don't know, I like it too much. I think it's too unique, for me at least, and I feel like I can do something with that. I don't have anything in my collection that looks like that, so I'm going to plant it in the ground regardless of the fungal issues, and I'm going to flower it and try and cross stuff with it. What I will just be careful of is to not cross that with anything else that seems to easily get fungal problems, because then it's just going to be a waste of my time. This is new, so as we're going into winter, my sun, I don't get as much. So this stuff gets sun. Over there all gets sun. But I think sun sort of cuts off around here. So a lot of this bit here and some of this and down there doesn't get sun. So I'm moving some of this stuff and I'm putting it on those pallets, and I've just, because I've never had anything here, or I had minimal. So I got these pallets, flattened them so that it's level, and yeah, so none of this is here, and there as well, and I've got another pallet there, and I might do another 2, and that just gives me so much more good growing room, because I've come to the conclusion, for me at least, it's a waste of my time to be growing a cactus over in the shade if it's like, it's just not going to grow to the potential. It's the biggest example is quichua. Like with quichua, I'm not even exaggerating a single bit. Quichua looked worse than this cactus, and it was about this tall, because I had it in the shady position under there. It didn't get any light whatsoever, and it was in clay, and it just was not the best conditions. And this is quichua now. You can see it was in that clay soil in the shade up to about there, and then it started growing with proper sun and nutrition and soil. Alright, I'm continuing the video the next day with better lighting because it was getting a bit too dark. Even now the lighting's not that great, because of the white. But yeah, you can see now what it looks like, and so in crappy conditions you just don't know. So here we got our shark's blue that fell, and the boltwood that fell. The boltwood is slightly bigger than the shark's blue, like thicker, but I think the shark's blue is heavier. I actually didn't weigh this one. I did weigh that one. I can't remember how much it was. I can't remember. It's on Instagram in the comments. But yeah, surprisingly denser, and yeah, this one just seems to be blown up with water, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it's like thickest, like about, I don't know, maybe here. It's just huge. But both absolutely beautiful. I can't remember where I was up to, but yeah, I'm just moving a lot of stuff around, trying to get the best lighting possible, because like I said, that doesn't get much light, so I'm moving them over there. I got the pallets over there. Yeah, lots to do. Even though I am moving soon, it's like I know a lot of this isn't going to be moved, because I need, like, a lot of this taller stuff, the position that they're in, it's hard to move them, because like this guy here, he's already leaning, so if I move him somewhere else, I may not be able to get him like growing again, like without falling over. So I need a perfectly flat area to put stuff like this, so that they forever grow straight and not being constantly moved. Like this here is sloped. I don't know if you can see the angle, but yeah. And then this is kind of flat, but that's still not flat, so I need to work it out. Oh, here is HBO4 cross T. Cusquensis from Herbalistics. Absolutely love it. Herbalistics has actually got quite a few bangers. I've gotten this from them. I got that HBO8, which is quite nice. HBO7, which is quite nice. I'll show that later. I got that Quechua from Herbalistics. Yeah, no, it's quite nice. Oh yeah, and there's the buttwood up there, snapped off, and it's towering right up there before. This one is Shark's Blue cross Rose 2 or Rosie 2. Come on, no. Yeah, and so lately I've really been focusing on the genetics, the traits, the characteristics, and seeing what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of. Like this one here, I'm going to give it another season or half a season to decide whether I want to keep it or not, because it's coming out with some decent spines, but overall I probably wouldn't keep it. Same as I probably wouldn't keep it. I'm giving it a bit of time. This one I'm going to keep. I think it'll be good for crosses. It's nothing crazy, it is nice, but it's got a very uniform look, and it'll be good for some crosses. That is Jeans cross Trojan Llama. It's a bit of a Bridgesii with Melty Pakanoi. It's looking whatever. I'd probably cut it and sell it. This one here, I've really been liking the look of it. It's just nice and clean. It's SSO2 cross Jules Giant cross Shark's Blue, I think. Yeah. And it gets these sort of reddy spines, orange spines. Obviously throughout the season and the year, the spine colour changes. And when they sort of go dormant, spines start to just go brown, because they're not really growing new spines. And we're sort of coming to the end of the growing season now, so, but even so, it just looks phenomenal. I love it. It's very clean, and I'll definitely use this to cross with some other stuff. Here is another HBO4 cross T. Cusquensis, but this had fallen over whilst it was like growing quite a lot, and it was covered by a pumpkin vine, and so it was going sort of yellowy color, because it didn't get any sun, so it was etiolating, and it's only just been in the sun for about this bit, and so it's coming good, but now we're going into winter, so it's not looking as good as that other guy over there. This guy, I really like the blue and the very white. It's like, it's unlike anything I've got because it's so white. You've got blue and then you've got white. Same as this. This one's even a very light blue. But this thing is just super reflective. And so, it's not the best looker in general, but I may keep it to cross with something that looks nicer. Maybe I would cross that with that to get a more white blue, and still get the nice looks out of it. And I'd select the best out of it. Here we've got a... cannot remember the name. I'm no good with non-Trichocereus, but you'd probably know. Most cactus collectors would know it. I don't, but yeah. And it wasn't doing good. I had it in a pretty shady position, and it's got this fungal spot. It's only just been moved into this position, which gets quite a lot of light. And we've had a ton of rain and humidity, so it's not doing good. But I'll give it a chance. I'll let it grow, and hopefully it'll scar all this over and not continue to grow. Yeah, but that was more of an experiment just to see what happens and what it looks like. I like this one. Nothing crazy, but it's got some unique traits. Here we've got one of our grafting, I don't know what you call it, monster, Frankenstein. But we've got, these are all, I think, from Peruvian seed. That one, they've all taken, but that one's definitely not growing as much. It's looking alright. One there getting pretty shaded. I'm gonna move him anyway because he doesn't get the best light here anyway. And this guy, seems like a lot of the nutrients are going to the pup and to the tip. Well, not much of a tip, and it's sort of skipping these middle bits, which makes sense, because it's not like there was a pup here. I've just cut into it and sort of they're hijacking the nutrients going from the bottom to this guy. But it'll be interesting as time goes on if these are just slow and they're going to catch up to the other guys, or if they're always going to grow at this speed because they're not getting maximum nutrients. This guy has been catching my eye lately. Okay, Upampensis cross colossus, whatever that is. It's UYU pampensis. Pampensis. Anyway, I've got quite a few of these, but this is probably the best looking one. At some point, I want to have on my farm. There's going to be every cross will have the whole section will be that cross, so that you'll be able to see side by side the differences in traits, which I'm quite excited about. This guy, I think this is Psychonaut cross WMP1. Don't know what the WMP1 stands for, but this is probably the best one out of the lot. Although this one has also had one of the best positions for sun and conditions. I had quite a few that were in a shady position, which I've now put into sunny positions to see if they look anything like this. But so far, this is the best. Not really any fungal problems down the base. Quite clean looking. So it seems sturdy, seems healthy, and the looks are pretty unique, pretty nice. So this for me is a keeper for sure. Use it to breed with. What else we talked about over there? That Scott is looking absolutely fat. Right. Or this, that has to just get chucked because I either just don't see any potential in them, or they have fungal on them, so they're just no good. I don't want to sell, sometimes I'll sell something with fungal to someone, but I tell them, like, this is fungal spots, so be aware of that. But they're usually fine with it, and I usually give them a discount on it too. So they just have to get chucked. I'm just not dealing with it. I have all of this to sort through, and then down there I have to sell all those, which, if anybody's into cactus and selling them, in Australia, you'd understand it's not that easy to just offload stock all the time. So you have to, I'm sort of throwing the stuff that aren't up to selling standard and trying to keep stuff that will sell. Like this, I'd 100% sell that, and it's selling worthy. There's nothing wrong with it. No fungal marks. It's dead straight. It's quite nice looking. So there's no reason why it wouldn't sell, but the market's not what it is in Australia. Things just don't sell. And I know most of my viewers are American, and your market is just thriving. And I think a lot of us in Oz are quite jealous of that. But it is what it is, I quite like this one. It's not, again, nothing crazy. What do we got there? It's just a Brugaceo op. That's all I was given. But it's got this sort of thick look to it, like sort of thicker and more compact than other Brugaceae. Because I'd say this is sort of your classic Brugaceae, or that. But this one, yeah, no, I like it. It's got something about it. It'd be good for crosses. What do we got? Another Peruvian seed. Oh, and we still got all these. And so here's something. These guys are all super stunted, and you can see it's got 0 roots. Sorry, I know that I'm moving like crazy and you can't see shit, but like, it's just like the roots have rotted. It's grown to about this size, and it would have had healthy roots, and I would assume it's because in the, oh my god, go in the bottom here there are holes, but like, that's wet, and like in Sydney, Australia, we have had so much rain lately. It has not stopped. So for like quite a few months, it rains, it stops, it rains, it stops, and then it rains for weeks, and then it stops, but it never dries out. Like, all of these pots have been wet for months. They have not dried out a single, like, it hasn't rained for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days now, but it's just wet. It's not like my soil's shit. There's a lot of pumice. There's a lot of stuff that gives air and allows the drainage. It's just, I can't, yeah. But I'm not getting too much fungal problems, and I'm eliminating stuff that are fungal prone. So, yeah. But, yeah, so too much water, soil. This is one of my older soil mixes, so that would not be good. Plus, they just need uppotting. They're just not happy. It's too compact. The bark in there is now breaking down, and that is also in turn breaking down roots, and things are rotting, and it's just not good anymore. And you can see all of these are quite yellow. So some of these would be all right and they'd still have some roots, but like, this guy's obviously rotted. Maybe this guy's rotted too, a few of them. This pot doesn't look too bad. These are all still green, and I know these guys are growing still. So they're doing all right. Yeah, like that one's still in. So I'm doing my best, but if you remember all those pots that I had, they were like around this height, and there was like 10 or 15 in them. I've been potting those up on the farm. I'll give a farm update soon. But yeah, so I've been doing my best to keep up. Got a CSD. I always love looking at the grafted CSDs because it's such a good example of genetics and traits and just how, I don't know, just it's just a good example of how unpredictable these cactus are. Because everyone knows CSD, but you look at that, it's like, oh, that's not CSD. It's like, well, it is, but it's, I don't know what you'd call this, but it's just maybe a juvenile growth of CSD, and it really only gets that funky growth once it gets mature. But it just blows my mind how it doesn't do it for ages. Some roots growing out there. I'll get that potted up when it gets a bit bigger. Maybe after next season's growth, if it gets up to here or something, I'll get it potted. Be awesome to get a flower from that one day. What's that? Oh no. Yeah, so this is all stuff I've put here in the past day. Stuff you guys probably haven't seen, but it's not, you know, a lot of it's not really worthy of looking at. It's all very basic. So I'm giving these guys another season, and the reason they're here is because they get better sun and they're in the shade. So they're not showing their true characteristics in the shade, but here they will. So one more season or half a season, and then I decide, okay, keep, throw, or sell. Yeah, but this next season, guys, there's going to be some insane genetics, insane traits that we're going to come across with all these, and like so many seedlings. I'm so excited to get stuff, you know, to grow stuff. I want to see more stuff like Quechua, and that HBO4 cross Trichocereus. Like I love it, and it'd be so cool to get so much more stuff growing. Actually, where was it? Was it here? Oh, yeah, here. So this is, these were out the front, and they get a bit more, they get morning sun, but they get quite a lot of direct sun. And they've only just gone under here, so they will start looking like these guys soon, because this is probably slightly too much sun, and these guys are probably not enough sun. And you can kind of see the difference because they're a bit stringy or elongated, and these are a lot small, I suppose stunted, but more compact. So it's good to give them this sort of stress, but then you want to make sure that they bounce back, because giving them that stress changes the genetics a little bit and gives them strength for later in life. But if you constantly grow them too weak, they won't. They can still look good and perform, but I don't know. They seem weaker if they're constantly babied and not given enough sun and stress. Anyway, let's have a look over here. We got this guy. I'm loving him. Just insane spines. Yeah, so I've moved a lot of the stuff over here. I'm going to put another 2 more pallets here. Oh yeah, we saw that one. I moved that this morning. Right, and so this here is HBO4 cross Trichocereus, just like the one I was showing you over there. That's grafted. I had 2 of them, and it looks really nice with those very colourful spines and blue colour. And this is also a HBO4 cross Trichocereus, and it doesn't look anything like it. And I put it down to not getting the best position. It was in shade. probably more humidity as well, so we're going to give it a bit of time. Oh, come on. Alright, there we go. Now you can see quite clearly it just has zero characteristics. So I put it in this position, gets a lot more light, and hopefully this next season we'll see what happens there. Here is another pampensis cross colossus, that one before. And so you can see that similar spines coming out, but this one isn't as nice. Alright, and then we are into the back section. I've thinned out a lot. I don't know, I'm sure you guys can probably tell, but it was very thick, very packed up. These guys have grown very tall though. But yeah, I've taken out a lot of the smaller stuff because I realise as these guys get bigger, more pups and taller, they just get less light. As well, got that hedge there from the neighbours, and that just covers them so much more as well. And in winter, the sun's there, so like I think that gets light about there-ish, and everything down here that doesn't get light, so I'll probably move this guy and move a couple of them. But only these tall guys get quite a lot of the light. We'll do a 0.5 so you can see if that's a bit better. And you might remember this guy. He had this bit here. He's grown quite a lot. He's fast. I mean, I know he's grafted to an in-ground tricho, but he's grown a lot. He looks alright, but he doesn't look as good as I thought he would look. But he's still nice. And yeah, this is that I think Pachycereus. Just a big ball. Yeah, there was heaps of stuff here. That's all taken out. I dug a few things out. I sold a couple of these big boys. I like this guy, but there's something about him that isn't that great. Don't know what it is. I'd definitely save him for breeding though. Let's get some zoom in on these guys. Oh, that looks horrible. I think it's the sky's too bright. Maybe we can get the that's a bit better. There we got Bogan. Not sure what that one is. Not sure. It's not even clear either. I think this one is Macrogronus cross Bridgesii, I think. That's a nice one, but you can't really see very well because of this shit ass camera and the bloody sky. Alright. Here we are with HBO7 and HBO8. I actually really like the HBO7. I think it's got quite a lot of character. It's actually quite thick. Like very vigorous, you know. Same as the HBO8 is very vigorous as well, but it's I don't know, I find it quite boring, to be honest. Until it gets the mutations, that's pretty bloody cool. But the H2S7 just looks nice on its own, really. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, this looks horrible. I don't know why the camera's doing that. I'm liking this guy here. He's pretty nice. I think that's P4 cross Pneuma or P Pneuma, whatever it is. If anyone wants this, you can have it. It's all yours. The catch is that it's covered in fungal spots, so I don't want it. If anyone wants it, it's all yours. You could probably cut it down there and maybe... This is a pretty crappy position too, because it gets quite humid and not a lot of sun. But if you want it, it's yours. How crazy is that? There's hardly any spots over here. There's a couple, but really not much. And this is up against the fence with no sun. Yet this side that gets the sun is covered in fungal. I hate that. If anyone wants it, it's yours. Let me know. This guy being propped up by some yarn. That is yarn. I was gonna keep him. I liked him when he was first growing, and it's not ugly, you know. But I don't know. And so the reason I'm gonna get rid of him because of that. Like, that is disgusting. I cannot deal with that. That grosses me out. Yeah, so... And so I was going to cut him down and throw him out and all that. Again, if anyone wants him, let me know. But I'm going to keep him until flowering, because he's at that height that he could flower. So next season, if it flowers, I will use it to get some seeds out of it. But otherwise, if it doesn't flower, I'm just going to chop it and get rid of it. Got this guy. Canuthianus, whatever you want to call it. We've got the Quambi. What a beautiful display right there. And he goes right up. Oh, I'm sorry for making you look at that. That is horrible quality. This one is Shark's Blue Cross Ben, and it's been catching my eyes lately. I quite like him. So it'd be cool seeing him in a better position than this, and seeing how much thicker he gets. Yeah, got this guy. He's still going strong with the multiple arms going on there. He's like fully rooted in the ground. And then we got just an absolute mess down here. I've got to clean. That's fallen over. It's got a bunch of pups on it though. Oh, I like that thing. I grafted that down there, right there. We'll get to it. We'll look at this thing again because I quite like that. And this guy, can't remember what he was, but he was, I think it was Jules Giant Cross Scop or something, or yeah, it's Jules Giant Cross Scopulocola. Quite nice. Really nice breeding stock that would be. No fungal issues. Very thick, very vigorous, resilient, all of that, you know. So I'd love to breed him with a bunch of other stuff. Like him with Quichua, mate. All right. I think I've been through everything basically. I haven't been making much videos lately because I've been busy, but as well, I feel like if I just keep making videos, you've sort of seen everything that I've shown you. So I'm really only making this video because I haven't done one in a while, and there are some new stuff, and you know, just an update and whatever. Yeah. So the next video should be on the farm. We'll see. Alright, see you later.